Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it.
Now from WSAV, the station that's on your side. You're watching News 3 Coastal Sunrise at 5:30.
Coming up on Coastal Sunrise at 5:30.
A 2-year-old falls out of a moving car on a busy street. We'll tell you where that happened. That is coming up.
And the partial government shutdown is entering day 25 as both political sides of the aisle continue to disagree. Hear from one senator who says it's time to come together.
A few clouds still around this morning, but sunshine will return today, and that will mean we get a little bit warmer the next couple of days. But our next chance of rain and even colder weather is nearby. We'll talk about it in the 7-day coming up.
And a very good morning to you. I'm Ben Catco.
And I'm Kim Gusby. Thank you for joining us this morning on Coastal Sunrise. Around Georgia, a teacher is accused of punching a middle school student in the face and slamming him onto a cafeteria table during lunch. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports 45-year-old Kendrick Monroe assaulted the boy at Miller Grove Middle School. Monroe was arrested Monday and charged with a misdemeanor count of simple battery. Officials say the teacher will remain on paid leave pending the outcome of an investigation.
Making headlines this morning, a truck driver in southern Minnesota captured video of a 2-year-old falling from her mother's car. Take a look. The truck driver raced to the toddler's side, who was still strapped in her car seat and seemed to be okay. It happened in Mankato Monday, where Chad Cheddermock tried to flag down the car, but it kept going. He says the toddler's mother came back about 15 minutes later, and police returned the uninjured child to her then.
New developments this morning. The man accused of killing a fellow Fort Stewart soldier will soon return to Michigan to face charges.
The victim's wife is also accused in the plot to kill her husband. News 3's Danny Dykes is in studio this morning with the very latest in that investigation. Danny, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Well, prosecutors described this case as a love triangle turned deadly. Jeremy Quayler and the victim's wife, Camilla Hassel, were allegedly having an affair. And after bringing home food to his wife and 1-year-old baby, Sergeant Tyrone Hassel III was shot and killed on New Year's Eve. Now you can see Quayar made his appearance in court yesterday. Investigators say Camilla and Tyrone were in Michigan visiting his family for the holidays. Officials believe 24-year-old Quayar drove there days before to ambush Tyrone. All three were active duty soldiers at Fort Stewart. Prosecutors think Camilla and Quayar wish to continue their relationship while reaping the Army's death benefits from Tyrone's murder. Hassel's father says he's in shock by the woman he says deceived them all.
I grieve for her more than I grieve for myself, because I saw a woman that lost her husband. I'm looking at my grandson. I saw a kid that lost his father. You know, not that I just lost my son, but it's tough, man.
Take it.
Camilla and Quayar are both charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Hassel's currently being held on a $2.5 million bond, and Quayar is also facing charges for possession of a felony firearm. He's expected to return to Michigan in the next 30 days. We'll keep you updated on this developing story. Danny Dykes, WSAV News 3.
Thank you, Danny. 5:33. It is Wednesday morning. We are taking a live look from our Dozier Law Cam out over the Talmadge Bridge. And Kyle Dennis, it's a little colder today than it was yesterday. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is a little colder, but this, of course, is nothing compared to what we're talking about for next week. But nonetheless, it is a colder start. We're in the low 40s right now in Savannah, but west of I-95, we are down in the 30s. So it is significantly colder, especially for those areas away from the coast. It's 33 right now in Statesboro, 41 for Richmond Hill, 41 in Savannah, and 37 in Darien. So at the bus stop, make sure the kids have a heavier coat. May need to upgrade from that jacket or sweatshirt this morning. Starting off around 38 at 7 a.m., climbing to the mid-40s by 9. So you see there is a faster climb today. And that's because we will have a little more sunshine. And because of that, we should be able to squeeze out 60 today and getting even milder the next couple of days. But we are tracking our next chance of rain for at least part of the weekend. We'll still have some opportunity to get outdoors this weekend. But also behind that rain, the coldest air so far this season, that's coming down right in time for the parade on Monday for MLK Day. And I'll have much more on that in the full forecast coming up at around 5:43. Ben and Kim, over to you.
Thank you. Glynn County Police are looking for a suspect who robbed a fast food restaurant. Take a look at these pictures. The robbery happened at Snapper's Fish and Chicken on Monday. Police say the man you see here went inside with a gun demanding money from the register. Officers say he drove away in an older model brown Chevy Tahoe or Suburban. If you know anything about this robbery, you should contact Glynn County PD. Their number is 912-554-7802.
Continuing coverage this morning, a dog breeder accused of keeping more than 100 dogs in filthy conditions in 2 counties is facing more charges. Angela Powell is now charged with animal cruelty in Montgomery County. Earlier this month, Powell was arrested in Candler County after deputies investigated claims of animal cruelty there. We've learned she turned herself in to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Monday. Montgomery County deputies say they're still waiting on evidence to be examined by local veterinarians.
The best part's when you get on Facebook and you see the scenes and the pictures with their new families. That makes it everything worth it right there.
Powell is out on bail right now. Montgomery County officials say they're now working to add an animal control officer to their staff to prevent anything like this from happening again.
In politics today, the blame game continues after the White House nor Congress appear any closer to ending the partial government shutdown.
I've never been in a situation where both sides think they're winning.
Manchin also says he met with a group of moderate senators to try to find some common ground, but Manchin admits so far no progress has been made. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats continue to urge President Trump to give up his demands for a border wall.
President Trump, you're not going to win this fight with the American people. Every day it drags on, you are less popular.
And we've got to do everything we can to make sure that the president gets a chance to negotiate a plan.
Congress has already agreed to back pay for those service members, but those checks will not go out until the shutdown ends.
5:37 right now. Here's something you need to know today. The city of Savannah is offering payment arrangements for utility services, especially for those impacted by the government shutdown. The offer is for anyone experiencing a financial hardship. It allows customers more time to pay their bill without worrying about their services. To set up a payment arrangement, call 912-651-6460.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has unveiled his executive budget for this year. One of his budget priorities is to give back some money to taxpayers. McMaster says the state has about $1 billion in unexpected money. The governor's budget also includes $46 million to put a school resource officer in every school and to give every school access to a mental health counselor.
Today we have mental health counselors that travel from place to place. There are not enough of them, but we want every school, when they need one, to have one. They don't need to have an office in the school because they don't need to be there 100% of the time. But when we need them, when we know we're going to need them, we need to have them available, and that's precisely what this $46 million will enable.
McMaster also included a 5% pay raise for teachers. He says that will put the average South Carolina teacher's salary above next year's projected average for the Southeast.
Your old cell phone that's collecting dust could be a life-saving tool for someone else. The Bluffton Police Department is now partnering with a company that takes old phones and gives them to domestic violence survivors and the elderly. It doesn't matter what make or model or how old it is, the phones will be erased and will only have the ability to make emergency calls. Each one will be distributed by Bluffton officers to those who need it most.
Like for the domestic violence, a lot of times the perpetrators, they will damage the victim's cell phone or tear up the landline. So this will allow officers to give one of these secure calls to one of the victims of domestic violence. They'll have that much needed emergency contact.
The secure drop-off box is at the Bluffton Police Headquarters on Progressive Street. You can give your phone to police there during regular business hours. Your options at Savannah Hilton Head International Airport are growing.
Soon you'll be able to fly directly to 4 new locations. The airport says 4 new routes will bring 6,500 more people to Savannah and Hilton Head every year. Starting in June, you can take Allegiant flights to Niagara Falls and Grand Rapids, Michigan for $50 and New Hampshire for as low as $60. It's a win for the airport and for tourism in the area.
Our hopes are to continue to see full seats, and with full seats come additional flights, and with additional flights comes new routes. And so if we could take things in that order and continue to see airline growth in 2019 is certainly all of our goals.
Allegiant is also adding new flights to airports in
Sean,
Virginia
through the
Beach,
zoom out,
Myrtle Beach, and
and
Charleston. All flights are nonstop.
And take it through.
20 minutes before 6 o'clock on this Wednesday morning.
Straight ahead here on Coastal Sunrise, your subscription prices are going up at $5.47. We'll tell you how much it's going to cost you to watch Netflix.
You're watching Coastal Sunrise from WSAV News 3. We'll be right back.
It's all Max 2. Ready to fade to black. And fade to black. Break rolls. All right, not too bad. Not too bad.